Hello guys, this is Disposal Countings back for yet another video, and in this one we'll be talking about our prediction for the best and fairest and leading goal kicker, my predictions for every single club for the 2021 season. Now if you like this video, please like and subscribe. It goes a long way to supporting me and my channel. So without further ado, let's get into it. For Adelaide, my best and fairest prediction is Matt Crouch. Now, I reckon Matt Crouch will take another step this year, especially since his younger brother, Brad Crouch, has left the club. I reckon he will probably do more, and he did have very good form in the late half of the 2020 season. So I reckon if he can continue that form into the start of the 2021 season, he will definitely be their best and fairest. Now this one is a pretty bold prediction, but I'm going to predict that Riley Thilthorpe will take home Adelaide's leading goal kicker position. Now this is mainly because I just reckon especially with Taylor Walker declining in form, they don't have anyone else who can really step up. I reckon Darcy Fodey does have the talent, but hasn't shown it yet. Meanwhile, I don't reckon Elliot Himmelberg can take the brunt of their goal kicking, so that's why I reckon Riley Thilthorpe may just edge above all of those other tall forwards just to take home their leading goal kicker position. Brisbane's best and fairest will obviously be Lachie Neale. Now, Jared Lyons could have, and maybe a couple of other people could potentially challenge him for this, but I reckon Lachie Neale would also be close to yet another Brownlow, maybe 2 consecutive Brownlows if he did play that well. I reckon he'll just continue his 2020 form and come into the season red hot and may in fact take the Brownlow, which is why I reckon he will become Brisbane's best and fairest for 2021. Now, onto the leading goal kicker. I reckon it's between Joe Daniher and Eric Hipwood. I just reckon Daniel McStay isn't good enough just to take home their leading goal kicker position. So, obviously, Joe Daniher, if he can focus on improving his kicking accuracy, I reckon he can definitely take it over Eric Hipwood. I reckon Joe will be their #1 target, which is why I reckon he will be their leading goal kicker for 2021. In 2021, I reckon Sam Walsh will take another big step into developing his skill set, and he will dominate. I reckon he can become Carlton's best and fairest. I guess Patrick Cripps, he didn't play. He wasn't as good as he was in previous years. I think that's mainly because lots of people are starting chipping at Carlton, and it's just not going to fall on Patrick Cripps all the time. And I reckon Sam Walsh is going to be an obvious indicator of this, that they've moved on from Patrick Cripps carrying them when Sam Walsh does take home the 2021 best and fairest. Now for their leading goal kicker, it was a big decision to make, but I just ended up going with Harry McKay. Now that's because I don't reckon Charlie McKernell will get enough game time, or he might miss a few matches just to take the leading goal kicker due to injury. So that's why I reckon Harry McKay is, out of all the other forwards, he is probably their leading goal kicker, which is why I've got him as my leading goal kicker for 2021. There is an obvious correlation between Taylor Adams' performance and Adam Treloar. So when Adam Treloar is in the team, Taylor Adams performs below than what he does when Adam Treloar isn't in the team. So Taylor Adams will probably, most likely, 99% chance, never ever play with Adam Treloar again. So that means that Taylor Adams' performance will increase dramatically in 2021, and I reckon he will just edge over the top of Brodie Grundy and still side bottom just to take home their best and fairest. Now meanwhile, Brody Mihocek, Jordan McGoley may miss a few matches due to stuff like he is being charged with assault at the current moment, so he may miss a few matches due to that, and I reckon Brody Mihocek will play every single match in the 2021 season, and if he kicks 1 or 2 goals each game and has a couple of big backs, then he can easily kick 40 goals, maybe even 50 goals if he does perform really well in the 2021 season, and I reckon that's enough just to get Collingwood's leading goal kicker position. Now on to Essendon. I reckon Andrew McGrath straight up will take their best and first. Jordan Ridley was a name that I was considering, but I reckon Andrew McGrath will take another big step like he did in 2020 and improve dramatically. He will be their best midfielder, and he'll be the best midfielder, and he will take home their best and fairest. Now, with Jordan Hurst's departure, they hardly have any tall forwards in their lineup, and I just reckon Anthony McDonald Tuguni, out of all the forwards that are left, will obviously take home their leading goal kicker. For Fremantle, Andrew Brayshaw take another big step in 2021, especially with Nat Fyfe and Michael Walters, probably his two main competitors for best and fairest. Probably not going to full line. Luke Wright as well, with the return of Hamling, Pearce, Logue. I reckon he will take a step backwards and let them handle tall forwards, which is why I reckon Brayshaw will obviously take home the 2021 best and fairest. For their leading goal kicker, I reckon Matt Taberner. It was between him and Lob has some goal kicking accuracy issues, and Taberner is probably their stay at home forward while Lob pushes up the ground more, meaning Taberner will probably kick more goals. For Geelong, now Cam Guthrie, especially with Patrick Dangerfield out, will play more in the midfield this year, and he will develop his skills more and start gathering up some more possessions and clearances, and this will reflect in the fact that he will gain their best and fairest. Now, Tom Hawkins is between Tom Hawkins and Jeremy Cameron, but I reckon Cameron will go up the field more, take those contested marks and kick it down to Hawkins, who will in return kick the goal. I reckon Hawkins will still be their primary target, which is why I reckon Hawkins will probably kick more goals than Cameron in the 2021 season. Now, for Gold Coast, Matt Rowell, he's definitely going to take the Gold Coast best and fairest if he does play like he did in the opening round of 2020, and if he does stay fit. So I'm predicting that Matt Rowell will stay fit, play every single game, and he will play like he did in the opening rounds. So that is why I have Matt Rowell there as their best and fairest. Now, Ben King will be their leading goal kicker. They don't really have that much forwards, many recognised forwards, and I reckon their goal kicking will be spread, and I just reckon Ben King will take home the most goals for Gold Coast. Now, in terms of Judo West, Stephen Coniglio did cob a lot of criticism due to his performance in 2020, and I reckon he will work on his game in the off-season and the pre-season, and he will come back stronger than ever, better than ever, and he will rebound back from that terrible, disastrous performances that he put on in 2020. Now, with Cameron gone, the goal kicking is between three people, or four: Toby Green, Finlayson, Himmelberg, and Riccardi. I reckon Riccardi's probably young. He might miss a few matches, and I'm not 100% about his performance. That rules him out. I reckon Green might miss a few matches due to suspension. He always does. That's just his nature. And Finlayson, I reckon, will just edge Himmelberg because he's a better marking capacity, and he's more athletic in the ground, which is why I reckon he will take their leading goal kicker. Hawthorn's best and fairest will go to James Worpel. It was between him, Sicily, and Mitchell. However, Sicily is injured for practically the whole season, which rules him out. And between Mitchell and Worpel's just a more damaging player. And in terms of, he tends to kick it more, while Mitchell tends to handle it more, and kicking is definitely more dangerous than handling, as it takes more meters and it gets them further to the goal. Meanwhile, for the leading goal here, Bruce will take it out. Jack Hunson is also injured for, I think, the opening around 6 matches, and I reckon Luke Bruce will probably just kick enough goals in those time to hold off Gunston from taking the leading goalkeeper position away from him. For Melbourne, Max Gawn, if you ask me, best player in the competition, I don't see anyone else taking it from him apart from Oliver. And Gawn is just a better player than Oliver, and he does a lot more, which is why I reckon he will, in fact, take home their best and fairest. I reckon Ben Brown will also rebound. I mean, he had one horrible season last year, and that practically seen Melbourne take him for nothing, but you must remember he did kick 60 plus goals, so of course he will, I reckon, especially in Melbourne's condition, he will take home their best and fairest, and he's going to rebound from last season and improve his game. This is probably perhaps my boldest decision or prediction yet, with I reckon Will Phillips has not even played an AFL game yet, will take home their best and fairest. I don't see anyone else doing it, to be honest. I reckon Cunningham will be injured for most of the season, just like last season, and they picked Will Phillips for a reason, and he's going to play in the guards and every single game if he's fit, which is why I reckon he can, especially with his talent, he can take home the North Melbourne's best and fairest. He's practically this year's row, and he will be playing in the worst team in the comp. So, obviously best and fairest. Now, for their forwards, they don't really have a dominating forward, which is why I reckon Zohar will take it down. He isn't one of those classical, massive, big goal kickers that just kick bags of goals after bags of goals, but he's very aggressive, very strong, and he can break lots of tackles. He's kind of halfway in between a midfielder and a tall forward, and he plays very, very aggressively, and I reckon he will probably just kick enough goals just to edge above anyone else in North Melbourne who tries to steal off him. For Port Adelaide, no-brainer. Charlie Dixon does take home the leading goal kick. I'm just not going to talk about that because you guys probably know why. Now, I reckon Ollie Wines, just like Hogs, also had a very disappointing season and did cop some criticism in 2020. I reckon he is going to work on his game. He had a few good games, and I reckon those few good games will turn into a norm in 2021, which is why I have him right here as Port's best player and best and fairest for 2021. Now, for Richmond, Shai Bolton will take home their best and fairest. Now, that is purely because I reckon he will play better than Dustin Martin. He'll be more consistent than him. Dustin Martin is very good at clutch moments, such as grand finals, but Shai Bolton has an edge over him in consistency, which is why I reckon he will take home their best and fairest in 2021. Meanwhile, Tom Lynch, he's probably better than Jack Riewoldt and probably will take home the leading goal kicker, as he will be their primary target inside 50, and Jack Riewoldt has had some pretty terrible games in 2020. St Kilda's best and fairest will go to Jack Steele. Now that is because Jack Steele will have the edge over Brad Crouch, especially since Crouch does have a suspension due to drugs for 2 weeks. He'll miss 2 matches, and I reckon Jack Steele probably still has the edge over him, even if he did play all matches. So I just don't see anyone upstaging him. There's nobody else in St Kilda who can challenge him. Now Max King, I reckon, just like his brother, he will take home their club's respective leading goal kicker. Now that is purely because I just reckon St Kilda will have a spread of forwards and midfielders who will kick the goals, and I just reckon King will kick the most out of any of them. Now for Sydney, Luke Parker will have another great year, I reckon. There will be challenges from Kennedy and maybe some of the young boys, maybe Heaney if he's fit, but I just reckon Parker will once again be that solid rock in Sydney's midfielder that performs week in, week out, and he will achieve their 2021 best and fairest. Now, Buddy Franklin, if he stays fit, when he plays, he's gonna practically be the #1 target. Nick Blakely probably can't kick enough goals to upstage him, and Logan McDonald, first-year player, probably can't as well. So even if Buddy Franklin did play half the matches, he could probably still kick their most goals. In the Eagles, Tim Kelly will once again take another leap, and he did dominate a few games in 2020, but he'll start dominating a lot more. probably will be in Brownlow contention in 2021, which is why I've got him as the Eagles' leading best and fairest getter for 2021. Now, in terms of the best forward, I reckon Josh Kennedy may be injured and probably will miss a few matches. So Darling probably will take home their leading goal kicker. And even if they both do play all the games, it is pretty close, and Darling is less injury prone than Kennedy, which is why I've got him here. Finally, for the last one, we've got Western Bulldogs. Now, Marcus Bontempelli will have another big year. Just so influential. He's probably, I reckon, a future Brownlow medalist. He may even take 2 or maybe 3 Brownlow medals. I have such high hopes for him. He's still very, very young and does lead the club still. So I don't see anyone else upstating him, especially since their midfielders like Chalor and Hunter and Dunkley will all be rotating probably through the forward line, and as so will him, and he's probably also the best forward out of them. So I just don't see anyone else beating him. Now, this is a bold prediction, but Aaron Norton has had problems with injury before and does seem to get pretty unlucky, but I reckon Jamarra Ugle-Hagan can upstage Norton, and I'm not even going to mention Josh Bruce, because Josh Bruce is not at all in contention for the leading goal kicker. So I just reckon Ugle-Hagan is better than Norton, which is why I reckon he's going to get the leading goal kicker. Simple as that. Now, guys, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. As I said before, it goes a very long way to help my channel, so please subscribe and enjoy the rest of your day.